One's ready. One's ready. Go!
Grind every day, yeah, we aim for the stars. Feet on the ground, but our heads are on Mars. Visions of glory, sweat on our skin. We craft our story, determined to win. We the titans, with hearts untamed. We face the giants in this battling game. Our dreams are loud, echoes of them remain. We stand as one, heading for the Hall of Fame. We chase the lights till the final whistle. Believe it when we say we never settle. We chase the lights till the final whistle. Believe it when we say we never settle. We did it, we did it, we did it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. This is your daily drop for the 18th of February, brought to you by Tasty Gains. If you guys are interested in any kind of creatine gummies, they've got gummies for women, they've got gummies for kids that are creatine gummies for kids. The women's one has some other stuff in it as well, so it's tuned just for them. They also have pre-workout gummies, which personally isn't my jam because my heart will explode, but you know, hey, whatever. But their nootropics are fantastic, and they're not gummies; they're in a capsule form. I love those things. You want an ability to get locked in without having to get on any kind of Ritalin or ADHD medicine. That is what you get. It helps you focus. It's fantastic. So tastygains.com. Head on over there, get yourself some. Also, 2 days now until the Operator Training Summit in University of Alabama closes out. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be epic. Also, before we get into that, this is not an ad read now. Apparently, the platform that we use to publish our members only stuff on Spotify and Apple has changed the way they do some things. So a lot of you aren't getting the locked or the members only episodes to you. So I'm working with the company now to try and figure that out. I may have to, if you're having problems with it, shoot me an email, jared@onesready.com, and I will try and get it figured out for you. They've given me a couple links to articles, but that doesn't really help, right? I'm kind of pissed off about it, to be honest, because it's like, dude, it's not on you as the listener or the member or the subscriber to have to figure this out, right? It should be easy for you guys, but they've changed something, and I don't know if it's they've changed something or Spotify has or Apple Podcasts, but you guys aren't getting it, and it's I'm not happy about it. So also, I do need to make a correction. Several times now, I have talked about the two Navy ships that collided on the 11th of February in the Caribbean Sea during a resupply operation. I kept calling it the USS Mason because that's what I was given, and I didn't deep dive into it, so that one's on me. So I wanted to make a correction to it. It is actually the USS Truxton, and it's an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, and the USNS Supply, which is a supply class fast combat support ship and that kind of stuff. So sorry about that. I made a mistake. If I make a mistake, I own it, and then I'll stop messing up and getting calling out the USS Mason sailors. Like, that sucks. That was not my intent. So, all right, on to the Army. South Korea digital network overhaul. The United States Army is nearing completion of a $27 million upgrade to its communications network in South Korea, improving broadband, voice, and video capabilities. The project has been underway for nearly a year and a half and enhances operational connectivity for the forces for the peninsula. Man, I bet there's cyber dudes out there are hating life trying to get all that infrastructure set up, and next thing you know, the general or the colonel's his red line's not working, or his zipper or his nipper isn't working, and he's just fucking pissed off about it. Oh yeah, you know that's happening. Or some sergeant major out there is just crawling up some E2's ass. As he should. because that's what sergeant majors do. All right, next, Oahu housing pressure from troop surge. The United States Army is surging troops to Hawaii, creating high demand for living space on Oahu. Post exchanges like Fort Shafter show crowded parking lots. This reflects broader Pacific posture adjustments. Yeah, there's a lot of surging going on in both the West and East. All right, next, nighttime air assault in Alaska. Soldiers of the 11th Airborne Division conducted a nighttime air assault at Yukon Training Area, Alaska, during the Joint Pacific Multinational Readiness Center, JPMRC, 26-2 exercise. The training focused on Arctic conditions and multi-domain readiness and demonstrates capabilities in extreme environments. Next, Apache anti-drone ammunition live fire test. Oh man, you telling me that the Apaches are going to get some against drones? This is going to be epic. The Army successfully tested AH-64 Apache attack helicopter with new explosive rounds designed to counter drone swarms at the Yuma Proving Grounds in Arizona. Live fire exercises advanced the platform's role as a drone hunter. Boy, is there anything that an Apache can't do? Riddle me that, Batman. The Apache is an incredible platform. Oh, and the mentality that Apache pilots have is just like an A-10 pilot, which is just like a ground dude. They want to kill and blow things up. All right, nothing for the Navy today. Ooh, nothing for the Marine Corps today either. All right, Air Force. Revamped Sentinel mission timeline. Geez, we're slipping that again. The United States Air Force expects the LGM-35A, the Sentinel intercontinental ballistic missile, to reach initial operational capability. Geez, say that again. Sentinel intercontinental ballistic missile to reach initial operational capability in the early 2030s. The program completed a restructure of its acquisition plan this year to address prior budget issues. This supports the land-based leg of the nuclear triad. All right, next, delay of the F-15EX to Okinawa. The Air Force has delayed delivery of the first permanent F-15EX to Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, or on Okinawa, because it's an island. The 18th Wing awaits the advanced aircraft, and this affects Pacific air superiority posture. It most certainly does, because delays like that, when you are divesting, or I'll just use divesting of the F-15C, which is air-to-air air superiority kind of stuff, and you don't have a replacement for it, which is kind of the F-15EX, like that becomes a problem. Because now a combatant commander doesn't have combat capability that he is supposed to have when they are making decisions that impact that entire region. That's why it's an issue. Next, Air Force One repaint in preferred colors. Air Force One jets will be repainted in President Donald Trump's preferred colors of red, white, gold, and dark blue. The change applies to the presidential fleet, and it reflects executive preferences for aircraft appearance. Okay. Air Force Academy growth recommendation. A congressionally mandated board recommends the Air Force increase the United States Air Force Academy Cadet Corps by 10% and establish on-site facilities for the Air Force, or for the United States Space Force, The report avoids creating a separate academy, and this supports joint service education needs. Yeah, so that goes right along to why the hell does the Space Force think that it needs to have its own basic training, right? And I know that the first thing that the Space Force Guardians go to is, well, the Marine Corps is part of the Department of the Navy, and they have their own. Yeah, jackass. The Marine Corps is way bigger than you guys. You guys are 9,000 people strong. And if you get approved to double, you'll be at 20, still nowhere close to the Marine Corps. You don't need your own basic training. Just you if you do that, then it's going to take up manpower and money that you don't have. So utilize like be a leech off of the Air Force and continue to utilize the Air Force since you are part of the Department of the Air Force, and then it'll be gravy, baby. Woo! All right. Next, Space Force. SWORD, SWORD, it's an acronym. I'll spell it out below. Platform for Space Superiority. The United States Space Force positions the Space Warfighter Operational Readiness Domain, or SWORD, training platforms as key to maintaining superiority training platform as key to maintaining superiority in contested space. The program head emphasized its role in warfighting readiness, and it prepares Guardians for operational demands. Next, Satellite Refueling Technology Survey. The Space Force is surveying industry for in-orbit satellite refueling systems operational by 2030. The effort assesses military utility and economic viability. Now, we've actually talked about this. This must have been 6 months ago or so, where they were talking about doing in-orbit satellite refueling and all that kind of cool stuff. But then another Space Force general, I think they were still active duty, maybe they were retired, I'm not sure, but came out and said, hey, we actually need to do some analysis on this and make sure that this is actually the right option, because in-orbit satellite refueling is going to be extremely difficult and extremely expensive. And maybe it actually makes sense to just allow those things to end their life cycle and then throw up additional satellites that have more capability and they're, fueled up and ready to rock. And that actually is easier and could be cheaper. So I think that is something that's important that we actually need to look at. But again, what the F do I know? All right, next, Coast Guard port protection in Indo-Pacific wartime scenarios. The United States Coast Guard is prepared to protect key ports and supply lines from drone attacks in potential Indo-Pacific wartime scenarios. The Pacific Commander highlighted joint support for Navy and Marine Corps operations. All right, Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War stuff. Commercial satellites for on-orbit surveillance. The DoW seeks commercial satellites capable of spying on and conducting close-range inspections of other satellites in orbit. A Defense Innovation Unit solicitation was issued on Tuesday, and this provides cost-effective space domain awareness. Yeah, I'd say so. We definitely want that, because you know what Russia, you know what China's doing right now? They've got satellites up there that are definitely spying on our satellites. And then some other stuff as well. Okay, cool. Let's see. Nothing for POTUS. Next, operational stuff. U.S.-Iran nuclear talks conclusion. The United States and Iranian officials concluded nuclear talks in Geneva with an understanding on guiding principles for Iran's program. Iran's foreign minister stated additional work remains, and the session occurred amid United States military presence in the Middle East. That's part of that surge I was talking about. Next, strikes on boats, drug boats. Those are still happening. I don't need to go into that again. I guess we just smoked 11 people, is what it says here. Let's see. What else? Nope. Talking about Ukraine and Russia, and then ongoing narcotic stuff, all stuff that we've talked about before. So anyway, I'll end that here. Appreciate you guys being here. Sorry, I kind of sped read through that, just because I got a meeting coming up in all of 5 minutes and I need to get this out to you guys. All right, have a good one. See you.